audio isn't that great. Sorry about it, but hope you can hear Liz. Thanks, bye.
Okay. Hi guys, we're just down in Sydney today and Liz has just arrived, so we might get Liz to introduce herself and just tell us a bit about where you've come from.
Hi guys, I'm Liz Jarvis. I'm a chartered accountant, but as well as accounting, I help people overcome all sorts of hurdles in business. So my professional journey was fairly straightforward for an accountant, but I choose to move from the city to the country so that I could afford to raise children and all that sort of thing. That was like 25 years ago. It's been
and so whereabouts as home?
So home, I drove down today. I live in Wingham in New South Wales. It's about 4 hours north of Sydney.
Wow. I'm so grateful that you came all the way. You say you drive down quite often to come to Sydney?
Yeah, I do.
That we just like to show that we're all human and we all go through bad days. So what was maybe like your worst day, or like through so many days that
despite appearing very successful or whatever, there's always challenges. Everyone has challenges. Our biggest challenge was 22 years ago when I've to not tear up now. My only child at the time was 2.5 and he was diagnosed with leukemia. So that was huge. But it's, you just have to get it. No, I'm not sad, I'm kind of joyous. It's better now.
It's just that you overcame that, I think, and that would have been so hard.
Yeah, and the harder you think it is, the harder it is. It's everything in life, the harder you think it is, the harder it is to get over. The thing with leukemia is it's generally a 2-year program of treatment. There's no guarantees you're going to make it, but you have to go through this process for 2 years. So that's all about. For us, I've been a bit about empowering all my life, so I had to empower my husband to come in, hated needles and hated hospital. I had to empower my 2-year-old to face up to the hospital regularly. So, we just took it as a learning experience. I'm not pretending it was easy. Ironically, our doctor suggested that we should take life as normal as possible. So normal for me at the time was I was a working mum and my child was in daycare. He said, that's okay, just go back and do that, because we used to wrap them in cotton wool, but then they were misadjusted. They didn't adjust to life very well when they got isolated. And Liam was a pretty rambunctious 2-year-old. He liked to climb the walls, and like his tumbling brother, he was busy. Yeah. So, they were the hardest. Interestingly, harder than that. You wouldn't think it would be harder than that, but when he was 17, we found out that he has a minor brain injury from the treatment. So that meant he was had issues with impulse control and issues with concentration. When he was about to get his P plates, so you can imagine, as a parent, I'm terrified. I'm like, no.
Did he do his lessons with you? God, that would have been some quality time.
Yeah, all 3 of my boys are taught to drive. Lots of quality time.
Yeah.
Lots of music.
I remember my first lesson, I went the wrong way in the driveway.
Oh, just in the driveway?
Into the roller. It wasn't such a bad crash, it was I touched it. And I went, I better not do this.
Oh no,
so we went to big open spaces. I drive now.
Yeah, it's good idea.
I was very young at the time, but I love driving now. It's fine.
But we've all got hurdles we have to get over, whether it's that, driving takes a lot of courage. All sorts of things take a lot of courage. And my eldest boy, he's having to use a lot of courage to get through his own issues and find who he is and all of that kind of
just
stuff.
Be able to deal with that and accept it.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest thing. Sometimes it's like, that owning that story of this is who I am and what can I do now?
Yep.
And and I think it was my grandma, she always said, you can't be, worried about what you don't have. You have what you have, and you do the best with what you have.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. She was
great. She passed away just this year, and she was 95. She had 10 children.
Good on her.
So she's great.
She knows all about it. She knows how to persevere and keep going.
Yeah.
And it's not always easy to keep going. I've had my own bouts of depression for whatever reason. It's not always been clear sailing.
Yeah, but certainly I think being able to relate to others and just show, safely be vulnerable in a way, to be like, this is, what I've been through, and it makes people, also a bit more welcoming and loving or supporting towards you, because it's like, okay, I can understand now where they're coming from and things.
Yeah, and I think being on the lookout for all of your friends and family, and when they might be struggling with something, or being, open to asking for help, or to looking within. I think most of the answers are in here; they're not out there. It's really important not to blame the world or your parent or your partner or the things that have happened to you. Just look within. You've got power.
That's so true. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. And of course, so it's just remind me, what is the website to go and have a
So it's on the Pozible website.
On the Pozible website.
So Pozible, and if you search accounting, you'll find Suck the Scare from Accounting.
Suck the Scare from Accounting. And we can't thank you enough for chatting to us. Is there anything you wanted to say that we didn't cover?
I don't know. There's like 50 years of life here.
Of course. How is that going to be a positive social impact for others? So I know, but maybe if you just explain to everyone else.
Well, we're in a time now where so many people can go into business. There's all the barriers have gone. You can get funding all sorts of different ways, so the bank doesn't get in the way. We have the internet, so you can do business from home. We have our own computers. You don't need a pool of secretaries like when I started. There's all sorts of things that mean that there's no barriers to going into business. But one thing that happens is people think about accounting and bookkeeping, they just shove it away and give it to somebody else. And if they do that, they can't succeed. They have to understand enough, about their numbers. I think it's fantastic that that you have the resources online. We didn't have any of that. You had to go to the library if you wanted to know something, or ask your mother. You couldn't just look up, what does this word mean, or I used some of the online stuff that was for university students in particular to understand parts of depression, things that anxiety that I had at the time. But Facebook, I just love Facebook. I only got onto Facebook because when my eldest went off to uni, he said it was 12 hours drive away. I won't be talking to your mum unless you're on Facebook. Okay, how do I do that? And then, it's opened lots and lots of things, because the entrepreneurial stuff. We met through a Facebook group and the entrepreneurs group.
That's true. It does open a lot of doors. And I think the only thing you have to be careful of is the same things with people, is you apply that to Facebook. So, people are giving you a hard time, not making you feel that great, well then I'd say steer clear of that on Facebook, just as you would in everyday life, face to face.
Choose a company. Choose inspiring people and then inspire others as well.
Oh, I love it. So nice. Okay, Liz, well, thank you so much again, and obviously we're going to stay in touch with you and see how the campaign tracks.
Your project's going.
Thank you so much. Okay, bye.
And for more on Zottie Dottie with amazing stories coming up, go to Instagram, Facebook or Twitter. You can also join us on Snapchat. We'll see you soon. Bye.
You tasted the pain of losing someone, broken chains. Don't even look back at this wasted moment's scars. Your heart to